difficulties, but nothing we can't handle here on hashtag Rise and Grind. It's not the first time, and it's not the last. Dude, I got the Humble Alpha with me today. That's right, the Humble Alpha. Go ahead and take that one to the bank. You're probably like, what? A humble alpha? How can you be humble and be an alpha? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're also going to talk about your network is your net worth. So get on in here because we're going to have a good old time. All right, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? That's right. Today is Friday. We love some Fridays up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Why do we love Fridays? Because on Fridays, we bring in amazing superhumans from all around the world, man. And that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be super, super incredible. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. Unbelievable. That's right. It's Friday, February 5th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, February 5th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. I hope you're awake this morning. If you weren't, you should be now, because here we go. Right? Here we go. Dude, this past week, we've had some great shows here on Facebook. We've added tons of new members over on Clubhouse, which is amazing, right? And then we launched on Instagram. Like, it's been an incredible week. We're not on Instagram today because we have a guest and I can't get his sound into the Instagram, blah, blah, blah. I'll figure all that stuff out, right? But we've been doing all kinds of stuff and just basically like boldly going where I never, ever thought I'd be before. I never thought I'd be sitting here in the midst of like multiple microphones and I'm over here and I'm over there. They even got me trying to do some stuff on TikTok now. I don't even know what the heck that is. Here's what I do know though. I am Glenn Lundy. I'm the host of hashtag Rise and Grind. This is episode 802. We've been showing up here at 5:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, bringing you motivation, education, inspiration. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm also the creator of the group hashtag Rise and Grind on Facebook, where we have over 30,000 active members filled with nothing but motivation, education, inspiration. It's the only place on the internet. It's the only safe place on the internet that I know about. And I promise you that, because we've got 52 different moderators that make sure there ain't no politics, ain't no nonsense, ain't no bullying, ain't no, all that stuff. None of that stuff exists. So you ain't got to worry about it. I'm also the founder of Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse, which is an incredible space where we hang out Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. to make sure that we can do some Q&A, engage with the audience. We do celebrity interviews. All kinds of people be popping up in there all the time. It's the craziest place in the world. I believe I woke up this morning and saw a notification that old boy Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but old boy Zuckerberg was like on Clubhouse last night while I was sleeping. And you want to talk about FOMO? I'm like, oh my gosh, I will never sleep again. I missed Zuck. I would have loved to hear what he had to say on the platform that is like crushing him right now, right? Isn't that interesting? Really, really, really interesting. Lastly, I'm the author of the book, The Morning Five. That's right. The Morning Five, 5 Simple Steps to an Extraordinary Life. This is an ebook that you can download for free at themorning5.com. That's themorning5.com. You can download this free ebook, or you can go get the Audible if you want. But basically, I believe if we can change the way you start your day, it'll make a massive impact in your life. And so I believe it so much that I went ahead and wrote a book about it. That's what you should do. If you believe something and it could help people, you should probably write a book about it. Just saying. All right. So that's who I am. And this week has been all about networking. That's what we've been talking about. Your network is your net worth. We've talked about how do you level up your net worth. We talked about the ultimate networking hack, right? We talked about all those things this week. If you missed those episodes, you can go to GlennLundy.com. You can go listen to them on the podcast. You can watch them on YouTube, wherever you want to do, right? But we talked about networking, and it has been powerful all week. All week. I mean, we talked about how getting in the room matters, right? It matters. You got to get in the right room with the right people. And there's a guy that knows all about that, right? There's a guy who's going to be on here today. My man, today's guest, Stephen Kuhn, knows all about it. He surrounds himself with the right people. He's been in some of the most prestigious rooms all around the world. We're going to talk about those things today, but we're going to be bringing him in just a second, all the way from Hungary. All right. He's here all the way from Hungary. So we're going to bring him in. He's waiting in the green room patiently. He's like, come on. He's like a tiger back there. I can see him. Mentally, he's pacing back and forth like, come on, get in here, man. Get in here. Watch. You guys want to see him? Look, you see him? That's his pace face right there. He's like, he's trying to stay calm, cool, and collected, but I see it on the end. Yeah, there he is, right? He's ready to rock and roll. So we're going to get Stephen in here in just a second. But before we do, y'all know what we got to do on this show. Every single day, we got to get the body moving. We got to get the blood flowing. We got to get the heart pumping. We do that by doing a little bit of dancing. That's right. Let's dance, my friends.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind.
There we go. There we go. You feel it? Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. When in doubt, stretch it out. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if you can change the way somebody starts their day, it'll make a massive impact in their life. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you. Yes, you, Heather Geis. Yes, you, Tisha White. Yes, you, Nathaniel Banks. Yes, you, Emily Galler. Yes, you, Marilyn Wilkin, to go ahead and hit that share button. You too, Joy. You too, Joy Farley and Mark Ellis and Jeremy Noling. For those of you that are on Clubhouse, I need you to hit that little plus button on the bottom right-hand corner and just start pinging some people into the room. Be like, ping, 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 because you just never know. You never know. You might ping somebody into the room and you're going to change the way they start their day, and they're going to give you a big old hug and a big sloppy, safe, non-sick kiss, right? That's going to happen. All right. So ping some people into the room. Share this feed out over here on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast or any of those places, drop me a line. Let me know that you were there, because I want to say what's up to you too. This is also the part of the show where I say good morning to you and you say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. What's up, J.R. White? How you doing, Janelle Griego? We got Susie Mack is in the house. We got Mrs. Michelle Berker. What's up, Liza Myers-Borges and Simona Holloway? What's up, Michelle Gravely? Mr. Michael Guthrie. Alita Patrick is in here. Brad Smith, Don Sankey, Gail B. Craft. And who's hanging out over in Clubhouse? That's what I want to know. Who's hanging out over on the Clubhouse side? Over in Clubhouse, we've got Willie and Alicia. We've got Rainia and Cha. We've got Phil and Thaddeus and Rico and Pranav and B. Welcome to the platform. I'm seeing a lot of people new to the platform. We've got Vicky and Mariah and Elizabeth and Nick and Loretta and Kaori. And of course, we've got some of our moderators up here. We've got Scott and Jeff, the entrepreneur. What's up, Mario and Wendy, Joshua and Fireman? Nate's up in here. My boy Tanner. Dominique is in the house. I love it. Everybody's here for hashtag Rise and Grind. That's what I'm talking about. Powerful episode for you today. You're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. I ain't playing. So let's get homeboy up in here. You want to get him up in here? Steven? Is Steven dancing? I wonder if he's dancing. Let's check on him. Are you dancing back there? Oh, look, he's got the head bobbing. You see him? Head bob. Look, boom, 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 boom. I don't even know if he knows I'm talking to him. I don't even know if he knows that he's on camera right now. Look at him. He's just bobbing. That's so funny. All right, we're going to get Steven in here. All right, let me run this little segment reel and we'll get him in. You guys ready for Steven? You having some fun? Let's do this. Bro, Steven Kuhn, what are you doing?
Hey, bro, I was just listening to that song and making me, I was wondering to myself, what does that make me feel like? And I started thinking of, Dr. Dre and Tupac with California, or like Warren G, right? And how that made you feel when you were listening to that back in the day. And I was, because every time I hear that song, it's sort of like, wow, it's got me. And it just reminded me of those two songs and the way that I felt in those times. So, man, he nailed it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, he did nail it, right? Like, it's got a little... He says that the sound in the beginning, right? This sound right here. That he says that's to him, that's the sound of the sunrise.
Oh wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Yeah, he says that's the sound of the sunrise. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Mr. Tony with the Keys made that song and he's amazing. But we're not here to talk about Tony with the Keys. Oh, they said they can't hear you on Clubhouse. Are you unmuted?
I am now. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thanks, Liza.
Too much tech for me, Glenn.
It's a lot of tech. Okay, good. Thank you, Liza. Liza saved the day right there. She just sent me a text message. Okay, beautiful. So, bro, we were talking about Tony, but we're here to talk about you. And I know that that's your favorite subject, right? Everybody just loves talking about themselves. Right. So no pressure or anything like that. But no, dude, you got an amazing story. You've done some amazing things. But here's where I want to start. All right. I want to start by you wrote this book called Unleash Your Humble Alpha. Right. Pretty cool title. So you wrote this book, Unleash Your Humble Alpha. And what I want to know is, like, just in a quick snapshot for everybody that's here, because we don't have enough time to read the whole book together. Like, what are the top 3 takeaways from this book with an amazing title like Unleash Your Humble Alpha?
Well, it's simple. It is actually 3 things. So the first thing we do in the book is we uncover your true identity. Who are you really? Not what your title is, what you do, or what company you own, but who you really are. And through that, we go through a process that actually crystallizes your purpose much easier, which is then aligned with your identity. And that alignment with your identity creates a presence like no other. And that creates certainty. And as we know, certainty is magic because it allows you to let go of the how you're going to get to where you're going.
Beautiful. So short and sweet. Yes. Your true identity, which gives you certainty.
True
right?
Identity, purpose, certainty.
True identity, purpose, certainty. Okay. You said it so fast. I missed the purpose part there in the middle. All right, so those are the 3 main.
You got to remember, Glenn, I was a soldier, and when someone says do it fast or do that, then I do it. So
Sweet. So talk to me about that. You were a soldier. Where? When? What? How?
Yeah, I joined in 1986 out of Pennsylvania. Went to Fort Knox, Kentucky, for boot camp and AIT or training, and then I ended up going to Germany, where I then spent 6 years. Then I was deployed to Iraq, fought in Iraq. And that was my decision making to say, I'm never doing this again. So I went back to Germany and got out and did what they call a European out. And I stayed in Germany. And I've been here ever since. So I got out in 1993 and I've been here ever since. So I went to Germany when I was 19. I'm 53 now. But this is my 9th country. I'm in Hungary right now.
Gotcha. You plan on, you just going to finish it out there? You can spend the next 60 years over there? Or?
No. I don't think so. No.
No? You think you might make it back to the States one day?
Well, actually, I never thought I would, but lately we've been thinking about it. Yes, indeed.
Hey, all right. Well, that actually taps into my next question. So you're over on the other side of the pond, and obviously there's a lot of things that are going on, in the world with coronavirus and so on and so forth. And this is a morning show, and we're not trying to create any negative situations or whatever, but the elephants in the room, right? There's the reality of the situation that people are dealing with COVID around the world, and they're trying to figure out different ways to handle this and so on and so forth. And so I was curious, as I was thinking about you this morning, like, what's it really like? I don't want to hear it from the media. Like, what's it like for you where you're at, and what are you seeing? What's that experience been like for you and your family?
Well, at first we were all terrified. We were coming back from Dubai on a vacation as they were locking the country down, and I had spray and you name it, I had it. And then after a while, just like anything else, you acclimatize to it. And they weren't really strict here until maybe March or something like that, and then they got really, really strict end of March, beginning of April. And what you got to realize is here in Eastern Europe, anyway, Western Europe's a little different, but Eastern Europe, the citizens do what they're told, because this used to be the East Bloc, and that generation still lives. So when they say wear a mask, okay. When they say don't, get too close to people, okay. And you just do it. And me as a freedom-loving American, I had a little difficulty with that
Sure.
because I don't like being told what to do. But we did it, and it's fine, and there was no breakout. I mean, unfortunately, the suicide rates have surpassed the COVID deaths here in Hungary due to COVID and due to the lockdown. In the city, it's very locked down, but out here in a small village of 2,000 people, all I notice is that we have to wear masks. Other than that, it's almost business as usual.
Gotcha. Now, as far as like your business and that type of thing, did you have to really pivot? What are some things that you did to continue to be successful through this last year?
Well, I went online 3 years ago. I stopped traveling 4 days a week for 20 years, and I went online. And I'm a turnaround business consultant coach. Help companies return to profitability through creativity, and we take the leaders and help them pivot in their positions where they are. Like I said in the book, a lot of people take that power from a position or a title, and then when they exit or they change jobs, suddenly they're back down to who am I? What am I about?
Right.
So that works with anybody. But my wife has 2 shops here, and she was shut down for a month, but she's considered essential. So, like I said, they're not so strict here. I mean, there's gyms that are open here too, but you have to be a professional sports player or a first or second league sports player to be able to train. So they're very accommodating to the folks. The one thing they did do, which I think really made a big difference for a lot of people in this country, is all private loans and mortgages were frozen.
Oh, wow.
So since March last year, no one is paying any mortgage or private loans or car loans. And it's just extending itself. It's not stacking up. So
wow.
That really helped the economy. Yeah, it really, really helped the people here cope.
Yeah. So no car loans, no house payments, no car payments, no anything like that, right?
Yep.
Wow. I think that's
if you build a house right now and you have 3 children, they will give you $30,000, the equivalent of $30,000. 2 children is like $12,000. They're actually trying to really, really help
stimulate growth. Now, how does that work on the backside? If you're the, if you're the bank, or if you're the person who's holding the note and you're not getting, like, is that devastating to them, or is the government kind of offsetting that?
Well, I mean, if I know a bunch about finances and stuff, and there's a lot of write-offs going on right now, if you know what I mean. So,
gotcha. Yeah.
Of course, there's money shifting back and forth, government, EU. I know, and so yeah, it's like those games you were talking about with the cards, right? So like,
yeah. We don't play games in the car business. What are you talking about, man?
No,
listen. I'm gonna have to get you off the screen here because no, I'm just kidding. Hey, check it out. Last night, all right, I'm gonna shift the subject a little bit. Thank you for sharing that with me. I was very interested in that. And so last night, I opened a room on Clubhouse, this crazy app that everybody's on, right? Or that a lot of people aren't on, but are going to get on at some point. Let's just face it. You can't avoid it. You can try, but it ain't going to happen. It's just like the Facebook people that try, like, I'm never getting on Facebook. And now they're getting on there going, I wish I would have got on Facebook, right? So that's how Clubhouse is going to be. But we were on there last night, dude. And I just made a room called Working and Eating Fruit Loops. That was the name of the room. working and eating Fruit Loops. And that's what I was doing. I was downstairs in the basement. I was working on some things. I was eating some Fruit Loops, and I was like, golly, I'm taking my life very seriously here. Like, you know, we've been building up the clubhouse thing. I've got my automotive stuff that I do. Like, I got 8 kids. Like, it's been serious, man. I'm grinding, and there's a season for that. But I was like, you know what? I just want to like hang out with some other people that are maybe working and eating Fruit Loops, right? So we get in this room, and by the time this room is done, like everyone in the room has turned their profile pic into some type of silly cereal profile pic, right? You got like Ludacrisp and Bootios and all kinds of stuff, dude. It was hilarious. And we were just laughing and having fun. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. We laughed until we cried, man. It was so fun. And so what I want to know is what makes you laugh? Where do you find that joy to where you laugh to tears?
Well, you know, I laugh every day, all the time. I mean, I have 2 kids, 5 and 6 years old. I literally laugh. Like, you know, my wife always says, you have to laugh at everything. But I find the joy in everything. I've trained myself over the years to completely wash out anything negative and always go for the positive. So I'm always laughing. But the best thing is when I'm sitting with some brothers and sisters from the military, and we just start telling old stories and, you know, talk about the funny things and the stupidity that we did, and we just laughing like crazy. You know, like I said, I can find joy in just about anything and laughing just about anything. I love to laugh. It's the best medicine.
It is the best medicine. And now that you open that up, I want to hear one of those stories. Come on, give me one of those silly military stories. It's you and the military. It's you and your military buddies. You're sitting around. You're sharing a silly story. I want to hear one of them. Give us one of your funny stories when you're in.
We were in boot camp, and when you're in boot camp, you're locked down. So you can't go out, and you can't go out at night. You can't go out during the day. You go train. You come back to the barracks, polish your boots, the floor, the toilet, the scrubbing the floor with the toothbrush. You know, the old that was back in the 80s,
right?
And we would order pizza at night. You weren't allowed, and the pizza man would come to the window of the barracks, and we'd take the screen out, pull the box into the barracks to the window, and eat the pizza and stick it in an empty wall locker, right? So about 6 or 8 weeks later, this window screen is starting to get bent because we're doing it every night, right?
Right.
And the screen's sitting there. We're standing in formation in front of the building, and the screen falls out for no reason. And the drill sergeant's like, "What in the?" And we go into the room, and he opens up this wall locker, and there's a stack of pizza boxes all the way to the top of the wall locker. So he then smoked us, is what they say, you know. So he smoked us, and I think we did 150 push-ups without. I mean, it was ridiculous. So things like that, just things you're not supposed to do, what you do, and you take a chance. And you know, there's hundreds and hundreds. I was stationed in Germany. I could tell stories about just craziness where we were, you know, where we ran around into the nightclubs and got in trouble, and then, you know, got in fights with the other companies. Like, I was cavalry, we'd fight the infantry. You know, it's just crazy stuff. Yeah.
Right. All that fun stuff. I could just imagine the faces on everybody when he opens this locker. There's a bunch more pizza boxes. Yeah,
because drill sergeants, they don't mess around, man.
Right.
Like, that's God in front of you when you're in boot camp. If they go like this, go down, you go down. They go like that, you go up, left, right. I mean, it's scary.
Intense, right?
Yeah.
Intense. That's awesome, man. I bet you there's a lot of camaraderie that's built. That's where the real camaraderie comes, right? It comes in the silly off stuff, the stuff in between, the space in between the stuff. I think that's where we find the real rewards, figure out who we are, and really find a lot of joy. So with that said, here's what I want to talk to you, because you are you're an expert, you know, in the business world. You've done a lot of things traveling the world. So I have my automotive work that I do, right? I work with owners, general managers, dealerships, kind of helping them in different areas. We've got breakfast with champions, which we're doing over here on Clubhouse now. We've got Rise and Grind, which is the clothing line and the show and the group and the events and the community. So you knowing that about me, like, what am I missing? We're just going to pretend like nobody else is in the room. And I'm just like, hey, Steven, I need a little advice, bro. Is there anything that you see that I could be doing, especially right now during this season, business-wise, to help scale and grow?
Well, you know, I just want to make a differentiation there that a lot of people don't know. Is that scaling and growing are two different things. So scaling is growth without extra cost, and growing is growth with extra cost. So scaling is typically something technical you can do, or like a SaaS company, software as a service company, you know, that you can scale users and your subscription rate, things like that. For you, I always thought that you would somewhere down the line have some kind of subscription, some monthly subscription rate going for something that you do extra or specific. I know you have programs, but like a monthly subscription would be something that I would look at. You have upsell, downsell, cross-sell bundles. Looking at your lifetime value of your clients. Are they increasing? Are they decreasing? How long is the lifetime? All these things I would have to calculate out, look at, see, okay, where are we at and where can we find gaps that we can fill? And typically it's not a product, it's a service. Since you have products, you have a service, and you have this, I would call it a podcast, this live show. There's gaps in there that you can definitely use to connect together. I don't want to say I don't know enough about your business yet. I mean, I think I know a lot about it, but there's always places that you can look to find a small thing. I mean, look, there's a company in the UK, they do, I think it's like £9 a month or $9 a month, and they got like 20,000 subscribers.
Right.
And that's, yeah. And so it's something like that where it's not going to hurt the person. It's a little bit of accountability, because, when someone pays something, they're going to show up, right? Typically.
Sure.
Typically they're going to show up. And it isn't you're trying to coerce them into there, but that's, you got to take responsibility for yourself. You got to take accountability for yourself. And sometimes you just need that little nudge.
Yeah.
And that little nudge could be $9, $4, $5.
Love it.
And I know there's that they have the free plus shipping for the book. That's almost used out right now, but it's still being done. Then they have the $9, opt-in with like Dean Graziosi, and then you get on a mailing list, and then they upsell you. These are all things that in my opinion, I've tried all those things, funnels, and spent probably over $100,000 on all this kind of stuff. None of it worked. For me, it's all about relationships, like straightforward. And when I connect with somebody, boom, that's it. And then we just go from there. It's all about collaboration, supporting, and elevating. Yeah. And so for you, I would say, probably a subscription base where you can add value in like micro value, maybe even your own app. There's apps that you can have that are pre-structured.
Yeah, we looked at that.
You have your own app. And then in there, it's incredible. We have a couple groups that do that as well. Pretty powerful. So off the top of my head, first thing I would say.
Okay, beautiful, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. So more kind of that space between, right? It's that little spaces in between the main things. How do we mold and shape that, especially going into subscription based and getting that recurring revenue, long-term lifetime value. I love that. Now I'm going to ask you the same question. I'm going to shift it a little bit though. And the reason I'm asking these, I think they're valuable, obviously, to people in the audience too. So I'm pretending like it's just me, but we're adding value for everybody. So I have 8 kids. Right. I've got 8 kids. I've got a big house. I'm blessed to have a big house. I've got a pretty good schedule. I have to wake up at 3:20 in the morning and do a show for 5 hours before most people wake up in the United States of America. But other than that, I consider my schedule pretty fantastic. I get to eat breakfast and dinner with my kids 250 days a year. And I think that's a big deal. So knowing what you know about me there, like at home, what else should I be doing?
You mean for business, or you mean in general for your family?
Yeah, like for the family. I want to shift. We had the business talk. Let's put that over on the counter, and let's go over to the family side.
It's funny you say that, because I have a home office, so I work at home, and I have buffer between all of my appointments. I have buffers. I break my day up into 2. I recently just doubled, because of Brian Benstock, his motivation. I doubled my work hours. I don't want to say semi-retired, but I sort of slowed down. Mm-hmm. And then he just got me fired up every day, and I was like, okay, Brian, stop it. And then so I just doubled my work hours.
Yeah, Brian will make you want to run through brick walls. There's no doubt about that.
Right. So I now have a gap between those two. And since I've shifted, most of my clients are in Australia or in America. So I have a very easy morning. So until about 12 noon my time, I do everything for me. So I think if you could find where your main clients are and what it is that you do to serve them, with the gaps in between where you have a valuable time. And my wife even tells me, I just want 30 minutes, of you, 100%. Mm-hmm. No phone, no calls, no nothing. I want 30 minutes of you every day, and that's great for me. Mm-hmm. And so I build around that. I schedule everything. I schedule meditation time. I schedule, my affirmations time with the video that I make for my. I don't do vision boards. I do vision videos.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I watch it, put some music to it, and then I watch that 2 times a day. So I break it up. I never do one thing for more than about 2 hours.
Gotcha.
And that keeps me agile. It keeps me, sort of moving around. My kids can come in then. And also, if my kids come in during a podcast, even now, they're not here, but if they would come in, they would join. Like I wouldn't say go away. They're part of my business. They're part of my life. It's all one. People like to say, well, I want to separate business and life. You can't. We're one person. right? It's all one. So how do you integrate that? And I integrate that by including that. If you ever watch any one of my videos, at the end I say, it's all about quality of life. And the kids say that now every time they hear me, and they come running in and they scream quality of life, you know.
Right.
And so, yeah, and it just makes doing what you do, and I know you know this, so much more fulfilling because you're sharing it with them, right? You're sharing that, the passion you have in life with them through another medium. I just think that's incredible. I would love to see your house though, man, with 8 kids.
It's wild, bro. It's wild. I will tell you that, man. It's wild. But you know, they're starting to get a little bit older, and I'm starting to, you know, and I appreciate what you just shared right there, right? And for everybody that's listening, right? Because I know we're all trying to juggle, right? You're trying to juggle things like COVID, and you're trying to juggle work, and you're trying to juggle homeschool, and you're trying to juggle all this stuff. And I think what Steven said right there is just beautiful, right? It's all that little space in between, man. What are you doing with that little bit of space in between? Are you zombied out on your phone? Are you spending too much time in Clubhouse? Are you like, what are you doing in that space between? It doesn't have to be these big to-do crazy things, right? And experiences and all that. Those are far and few between. It's that little space in between. I noticed my son Joel, he's been getting up now. He's 8 years old. He wakes up at about 6 in the morning now. He gets up at 6. He's got an alarm. He goes out. He first thing he does is cleans his room. He gets dressed. He goes downstairs. Goes and takes care of the ducks. He eats his breakfast. He's got a checklist. He's got his Rise and Grind planner. He does his gratitude, like all these things, right? Like the kid has got more done by 8 a.m. than most kids will do all day, you know. And I'm just watching it. I'm going, you know what? I'm gonna take a little credit for that. That boy's been watching me get up early for the last 3 years, and it's starting to rub off, and he's disciplined.
We call that radiant value. You don't do it on purpose. Value. It's just the value that you give radiates out to others, and the others pick it up and they pass it on. And that's the beautiful thing about always giving, right? It always radiates out, like the ripple effect, basically.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. Well, here's what we're going to do. I have a couple more like really good questions for you. However, over here on Rise and Grind, we got to cut it short. The good news is we don't have to cut it short over there on Clubhouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you one more question here for the Rise and Grind folks, and then we're going to shoot over to Clubhouse. So for those of you here that are watching on Facebook, all right, we're going to put Steven on top of a mountain real quick, and he's going to drop some wisdom and some value for you. But after that, if you would like, you can run over to Clubhouse. We're going to hang out there. We're going to do a little more Q&A with Steven. We got a lot of big things coming today over on Clubhouse. Brian Benstock and Michelle McLean are going to be having a segment a little bit later. I know David Meltzer is going to be bringing on some guests that I can't even tell you right now, but he's going to be bringing some people on a little bit later. So we got a lot of things going on over on Clubhouse in Breakfast with Champions. So feel free to meet us over there. But for those of you poor souls that are only on Android and you can't make your way to Clubhouse and you're like so upset about it, we're going to finish off with a bang right here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Steven, I'm going to put you on top of a mountaintop. All right. You are on top of a mountain, and all of civilization is at the base of the mountain. Everybody, all of human civilization. And they walk over and they hand you, or no, they're cheering for you. Steven, 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 Steven. It's getting hype, right? Steven, 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 Steven. And they hand you a mic and they're like, bro, you got 2 minutes. That's it. 120 seconds to drop some practical application wisdom on the universe, on every single soul, 7 billion people. What are you going to tell them?
No pressure at all. Yeah. Good Lord. Well, I think that one of the biggest issues we have today is that there are people, there's a lot of people stuck, or they feel stuck at least. And one of the things that I always focus on is that when I have a feeling about something, I check to see if that's actually a thought about something, or if it's the actual something. So for instance, if I have a car accident, I get out of my car and the first thing comes into my head, I'm going to be late for work. My wife's going to kill me. This is going to cost this much. None of that even happened yet. So what we do is we get so used to programming our future through our past experience and our thoughts that we don't actually live right now and deal with what's right in front of us. And we talk about self-esteem and self-confidence, right? So self-esteem, a lot of people think it's the same, but self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, and self-confidence is how you think you can accomplish a goal. Right? So I focus a lot on self-esteem when it comes to those moments. because those moments of thought are typically negative, right? So you got to flip those around, turn it into yourself and say, this is about me. It's not about the car accident. It's not about out there. I'm reacting this way because I'm programmed this way. So I'm going to turn that around and get that self-esteem up again. And then, of course, my self-confidence boosts as well. And then I just execute and deploy that which I want to achieve that day, that moment. And I actually take moments of fear, moments of like accidents or whatever happens as a signal, as a disruption in my life, and go, okay, you're not on track, brother. Get back on track. Go back inside. Find that true power within you, because that's where everything lies. And always focus on the intention. As long as you focus on the intention, you don't have to worry about the outcome. We don't control the outcome. So if you're worrying about the outcome, you're always thinking ahead and you're not living right now. So focus on the intention, go inside, realign yourself, and know that anything that happens like this, the negativity, the bad, the news or whatever it is, that's just them distracting you from your true power inside you.
I love it. I love it. I love it, right? Realign, self-audit, be aware. Why do you feel? What is it doing to you? Shift that, fix that, keep the self-esteem rocking and rolling, keep moving forward, and then focus on the intention. Don't worry about the result. What is it? Why is it? Who is it? When is it? Where is it? But don't worry about the how. That part will come when you focus on the intention. Dude, Steven, you are an amazing human being, clearly uniquely made by the God of the universe. The God that made everything made you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And you're doing it, bro. You're living it. You're going every single day to get stronger and to get better. And by doing so, you're making a massive impact, bro. An impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. This morning, you've made a massive impact on us here on #Rise and Grind. I know you're going to continue to do so over on Clubhouse. So I want to be the first. If nobody's told you yet today, brother, I absolutely stinking love you. Thank you so much for being on Rise and Grind with me this morning.
Love you too, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, my man. Steven, let them know how to get in hold of you, get in touch with you. Where do you want them to follow you? What do you want them to do so they can stay with you? And you guys make sure you blow this guy up all day today. I want him to send me a message saying, Glenn, get these people off of me. They won't leave me alone. So how do you want them to blow you up, man?
Best way would be everyone can download a free excerpt of the book at humblealphabook.com. And there you can contact us per email. You can download an excerpt of the book and see everything about us. It'd be fantastic.
Beautiful. humblealphabook.com. All right, we're going to say it one more time for the people in the back, or maybe somebody who's on a treadmill, maybe somebody who's in the car, like fumbling for a pen right now. humblealphabook.com. All right, humblealphabook.com. You guys go download that. Blow Steven up. Steven, you're a rock star. Thank you so much for being here on #Rise and Grind. I'm going to meet you over on Clubhouse in just a second. Fair enough?
Fair enough, brother. Thank you so much, and thank you to the community.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right, guys. That was my man, Steven. Oh, I got to make sure I hit the mark. There we go. That was my man, Steven Kuhn, the man. Dude, it's been an incredible week here on #Rise and Grind. Your network is your net worth. We got to get around the right people that are moving you. Did you guys hear how Steven said Brian Benstock moved him to do more? That's what I'm talking about. When you get in the right room with the right people, it'll push you to start breaking through stinking walls. So you're in the right room right now. You're in the right room on Clubhouse. You're in the right room on Facebook. This is #Rise and Grind, Breakfast with Champions. You are a champion. I believe in you. So let's continue to focus on the intention. Continue to identify. Make sure you know your true identity, where your true purpose. Know it with certainty and continue to move towards it, because we need you. We need you at your best. When you're at your best, it makes a massive impact on all of us. All right? It does. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to sign off here on Facebook. I'll see you back here on Facebook Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again on #Rise and Grind. But for those of you with iPhones, go get your butt over to Clubhouse, and I'll see you on Breakfast with Champions. See ya.